Over the course of 10 years, the Lac du Flambeau Band of Lake Superior Chippewa Indians have been negotiating with 2 title companies over easements for private property owners within the reservation. Those easements would allow the property owners to continue to drive on tribal-owned roads, but those easements are long expired.
Now the tribe has taken action to prevent what they're calling trespassing and are asking for $20 million for the rights of way of easements from 2 companies, First American and Chicago Title. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pazorski has the latest.
Yeah. The sound of heavy machinery filled the air Tuesday morning near East Ross Allen Lake Lane.
There's no other option?
Unless we hoof it across the lake or the forest.
Marcia Panfill lives in an area of Vilas County which is now inaccessible by vehicle after the Lac du Flambeau tribe closed the only route to her home. She is now figuring out what to do while one of her neighbors has left the state.
They left this morning at 8:30 to Iowa to stay with families. This is a lady, a single parent with an autistic child that shouldn't have to flee her home at 20 below zero.
Panfill runs Hornwinkle's Bear Stew, a bar off the reservation, which had to shut down Tuesday because she didn't know if she'd be able to get to work. In response to her post on Facebook, many defended the tribe's decision, with one responding, quote, "The tribe was more than generous in giving 10 years to figure it out, and nobody did anything. Let's be real, that's 10 years longer than white people would have given." Panfill says this issue of an easement was never on her radar.
We haven't heard anything from the tribe. There's been nothing posted. The only information that we've received are through the attorneys.
Lac du Flambeau Tribal President John Johnson Sr. said in a statement released Tuesday, quote, "We feel for the individual property owners impacted by the title company's refusal to negotiate in good faith," and would go on to say, "Unfortunately, the title companies and their attorneys are jeopardizing individual property owners, even though the tribe's expectations are fair and reasonable." But one property owner we spoke to on the phone says the tribe is the one being unreasonable.
$20 million for a 40-foot section of roadway just to be able to lease it? There are realtors in San Francisco that are blushing about that. That's absolute insanity.
As for accessing the road at this time, Vilas County Sheriff Joseph Fath says if there were to be an emergency situation on the blocked off roads, they would work with the Lac du Flambeau Police Department to gain access.
We have concurrent jurisdiction on crime, so if there's a crime being committed, we will gain access and to respond and help people. And if necessary, we'll get some heavy equipment to move things when we need to get there.
Reporting in Lac du Flambeau, Kyle Pazorski, Newswatch 12.
4 roads in Lac du Flambeau are blockaded by the tribal nation, and private, non-tribal residents are not happy. Earlier today, residents voiced their concerns at a town meeting. One of the concerns put to rest was the idea of a winter storm locking people in with snow and not allowing emergency services. Town Supervisor Gloria Cobb confirmed that the tribe would work with the town to keep the road clear in case of winter storms. Opening the roads fully has proven difficult, according to Town Chairman Matthew Gulke, who explained a limitation of powers.
We have only the powers granted to us by the state, and the tribe falls under federal law, so it's a little difficult for us to do something.
The title companies brought in a representative for 34 residents on the affected lanes. Her name is Bridget Huning. She said during the meeting that an offer was made to the tribe of nearly $1 million to create a new easement agreement, but it was denied. Town Supervisor Robert Hansen had some ideas for a new agreement after listening to the comments today.
The continuation of the roads, keeping the roads open over time, that would have to be part of any agreement reached with the tribe.
A plan of action was approved to finish the meeting. They proposed that a 60-day moratorium takes place to negotiate an equitable settlement between the 3 parties, and during this time, the barricades would be removed with the goal of finding a permanent solution. However, this would only take place if the tribe agrees to it.
I didn't think it would get to this point.
On January 31st, the lives of many Lac du Flambeau residents changed.
The tribe has decided that almost overnight, with less than 24 hours notice, at least to the homeowners, that they were going to push the issue forward, and they came in and they shut the property off.
Traveling across lakes is the only way to get around. People like Dave Keevitt says doing something like going to the grocery store has been a problem.
It's been difficult. It's been manageable. Fortunately, we've got some really good friends and really good neighbors up here that allow us to utilize their snowmobiles, utilize their garages, utilize their houses so that we can get changed and do what we need to do in order to carry on with our life. But this is getting to be a little bit out of hand.
I'm here at Center Sugarbush Lane, one of the 4 roads blocked by barricades. Because of the limited access to roads, one family had to leave their home because their daughter couldn't get to school.
It was scary, but honestly, I packed 3 days worth of clothing. My daughter, I don't even think she packed clothing. We grabbed her stuffed animals, we grabbed our dogs, and we left. We thought it would be 3 days.
However, those 3 days turned into a month. Pam Kester is currently living in Iowa with their daughter, and she says that the change of scenery definitely took a toll.
My daughter has been trying to do her schoolwork from a distance, but it's been very difficult for her. She's neurodivergent. She has autism, and she has several other significant learning disabilities. She's been struggling with depression. She has been having heart palpitations. She's having trouble with her sleep. It's been super stressful for her.
A major concern for residents is not being on the same page as the tribal members.
I'm just frustrated with hearing that the tribe is actually concerned about our safety to walk down this road today and see that no plowing has been done. I'm actually up here by myself without a vehicle to get anywhere. Our driveways have all been plowed in with 3 feet of snow. I don't think our health and well-being is being looked after whatsoever.
Do you feel like this is going to be resolved anytime soon?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I sure hope so.
Reporting in Lac du Flambeau, I'm Mohammed Abdulkawi, Newswatch 12.
Controversy has been surrounding 4 roads in Lac du Flambeau all year long. The tribe has had disputes with the town and title companies over access to roads with long expired easements. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdulkawi explains what's being done to fix the issue. Mohammed?
Yeah, Jessica, a lot has led up to this situation, from tribal roads being barricaded to multiple lawsuits. Today, I spent the day reading documents and letters leading up to today's closed meeting in Lac du Flambeau. For a decade, Lac du Flambeau tribal officials have been trying to negotiate easements for roads that are on tribal land, but lead to privately owned property because the title companies and town were not negotiating in good faith. The tribe barricaded 4 of those roads from January 31st through March 13th, leaving some residents forced to move and made life difficult.
The tribe has decided that almost overnight, with less than 24 hours notice, at least to the homeowners, that they were going to push the issue forward, and they came in and they shut the property off.
Since then, the town of Lac du Flambeau has been paying monthly payments of $34,000 to the Lac du Flambeau tribe to keep these roads open. During that time, multiple lawsuits have been filed by landowners, the town, and the federal government. In October, the Department of Administration requested the Joint Finance Committee to award each of the 11 tribes in Wisconsin $1 million for tribal grants. The Bad River Band and the Lac du Flambeau tribe were excluded. Governor Tony Evers urged the committee to release the funds. Lac du Flambeau tribe president John Johnson wrote a letter to Senator Mary Falskowski this month. Falskowski wrote back saying, quote, "During the barricade crisis, my office commiserated with Governor Evers' office over our shared inability to reach you. When we finally spoke, you told me that everyone else involved was a bad actor." Between exchanging letters, Falskowski met face-to-face with Johnson on Friday.
It was an educational conversation for Rob and I, Representative Swearingen, on the history of the tribe and some of the history of the dispute, and we were there to learn and gather information.
Despite the meeting, it is unclear what the future holds for the tribe, the town, and the legislature. Currently, the permits to access the 4 disputed roads in Lac du Flambeau are set to expire on January 12th. This is a developing story.